The conversation continues to revolve around Minnesota Vikings quarterback Daniel Jones. Because now the question is arising that Daniel Jones and the Minnesota Vikings could come to an agreement on a contract extension either this summer, this season, and could be the backup quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings next year. He'd be the perfect fit behind J.J. McCarthy. You don't necessarily have to worry about him being QB1 over J.J. McCarthy. But at the same time, he's still a capable backup that is more competent than a Jaron Hall, who's on the Seattle Seahawks now, or a Nick Mullins, or a Brett Rippon. So that's the conversation that's being had right now. Will Sam Darnold leave in free agency? Yes. And will Sam Darnold take a big contract somewhere else? Yes. Which means the door opens for Daniel Jones to be the backup quarterback on the Minnesota Vikings next year. However, before we dive into that, let me show you this, because this might have been the funniest video I've seen in a long time. The funniest video I definitely saw over the weekend. I was sent this by my brother, and you know how you have friends that you send Twitter posts or social media posts or whatever because they're funny? Try your hardest not to laugh at this one, because it is laugh your butt off funny. Literally. So I don't have a TikTok, but people post TikToks to Twitter, and that was posted to Twitter, and my brother sent that to me. Let's just watch it again, because this is one of the funniest things. And every time I watch it, it just gets funnier, because the first time I saw it, it's kind of unexpected, and you're just kind of wrapping your mind around it. Then when you think about it, it is so, so funny. Oh my gosh, like whoever put that together has a wonderful mind. The kiss from the water on the butt cheeks. The fingers flash at the ball. Anyways, I just had to start off with that because I like to bring laughter to the program. Anyways, Daniel Jones, let's get back to the discussion. Will he be the backup quarterback on the Minnesota Vikings next year? That's the conversation that's going to be had. PA, the voice of the Vikings, friend of the show, had some thoughts on Daniel Jones and his potential to be backup quarterback this season. And Ben Lieber said some similar things, which I disagreed with. Here's what PA had to say. Daniel Jones will not see the field for the Minnesota Vikings this year, even if Sam Darnold gets hurt and is knocked out, says Paul Allen via KFan on Wednesday, which I think is very interesting, because I go back to Josh Dobbs last season in a Minnesota Vikings uniform. You're saying that Josh Dobbs can lead a come-from-behind victory against the Atlanta Falcons, who had a very good defense last year, and did it in 3 to 4 days. But the Minnesota Vikings cannot get Daniel Jones ready in 2 to 3 weeks? Why not? I cannot wrap my mind around this question. What is preventing Daniel Jones from being ready on the Minnesota Vikings roster in 2 weeks if Sam Darnold goes down? Does Nick Mullins really give you a better chance to win? The answer is no. We saw Nick Mullins last year. We saw what he's capable of. He's the most entertaining quarterback there is in the league because he's so unpredictable. The guy takes more chances than a risk taker on YouTube. The guy is a wild thing at the quarterback position. And Daniel Jones has a very competent completion percentage at 68% completion percentage this year. So I still can't understand why Daniel Jones couldn't be ready if Sam Darnold goes down in 2 weeks. I don't get it. But Daniel Jones, will he be the backup quarterback on the Vikings next season? And my best guess is no. And here's why. Daniel Jones chose the Minnesota Vikings this year because he wants to do what Sam Darnold did with the San Francisco 49ers in half the time. Darnold was a backup on the Niners for the entire 2023-2024 season. Learned under Shanahan, learned under Brock Purdy, learned under a steady, good organization that went to the Super Bowl and lost. Now, Daniel Jones is trying to do the same thing in 6 or 7 games. He is trying to become a student of the game, learn under a steady organization in 6 games, because he's a free agent this offseason. And when he's a free agent this offseason, the smart thing for Daniel Jones to do would be to test the market, see what's out there, see if a team believes when he says that he learned so much under Kevin O'Connell and he's grown so much as a player and he's done this and he's done that. I would be surprised if Daniel Jones resigns as a backup quarterback unless he is guaranteed a competition for the QB1 spot on the Minnesota Vikings next year with J.J. McCarthy. So, you find these quick, rich, fast schemes. Like, let me just share my screen with the YouTube watchers. It says on Google, 11 ways to make a lot of money. Want to get rich overnight? 50 ways to make money quick. Build wealth from nothing. Fast track to millionaire. Achieving wealth and blah, 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 blah. Everyone wants the fast track to different things in life. And Daniel Jones is trying to become a fast track quarterback learner that was under a distressed organization with the Giants that now moved to the Minnesota Vikings, and he wants the fast track to learning under Kevin O'Connell, Sam Darnold, and the Minnesota Vikings organization. I don't think it is in the best interest of Daniel Jones to sign a backup quarterback contract with the Minnesota Vikings this offseason and sit behind J.J. McCarthy for a year. One, because he's older than Sam Darnold was. He's already 27, will be 28 years old in April. And 2, I don't think that helps the career of Daniel Jones at this point. I don't think a team is going to see Daniel Jones as a backup in Minnesota the same way teams saw Sam Darnold with the San Francisco 49ers. One, because Sam Darnold has raw talent. You can see his talent jump off the screen. And that's why he's got chance after chance after chance after chance. Daniel Jones might get one more chance, but he does not have the same arm talent that Sam Darnold has. Daniel Jones is a very capable backup quarterback in the league. But Daniel Jones doesn't want to believe that. He wants to go out there and prove that he's worthy of another quarterback contract. If he can sign somewhere else this offseason, like a Raiders, like a Panthers, somewhere else, that he could take an organization that's been disabled and make it worth something. So I think that's the plan. And I think that's the idea that best suits Daniel Jones. I would love for Daniel Jones to be the backup on the Minnesota Vikings next year, because that's very good QB depth for a team that only has one quarterback under contract right now, J.J. McCarthy, for next season. And J.J. McCarthy is going to miss his entire rookie season because of a knee injury. And if your franchise quarterback is going to miss his entire rookie season because of a knee injury, well, then I would love to have some insurance behind him. Because who knows how good his health is going to be long term. He already needed a second injection because of his knee swelling. So who knows what the future looks like for one J.J. McCarthy because of potential injury issues that could arise in the future. So I would love DJ as the backup next year. Will he be? I don't think so. He's going on the fast track to being a capable learner as a backup quarterback under an offensive system with the hopes that he could sign somewhere else next year and compete for a QB1 spot. Maybe that's with the Vikings and I'm wrong. Maybe he's competing with J.J. McCarthy for QB1 at the beginning of next year. But I think it's likely that he signs somewhere else as a free agent, hits the market, and sees what he can get out there. So those are my takes. That's the Minnesota Tim podcast today. Thank you for making this show a part of your day.